It's all about the Rams at the moment, Alex. It's time for Know Your Opponent.
Know Your Opponent, all 22 film sneak peek.
Yeah, buddy.
Baby. We're back. All right, let's do this thing. Let's hop into this, and let's take a look-see at this all 22 film. Let's see what the Rams did really well against the Minnesota Vikings, and let's see if the Niners can take anything from this.
Yeah, it makes sense to go to the Minnesota Vikings that run similar concepts to the 49ers, a lot different than what you would have gotten from the Baltimore Ravens. Even though that was the most recent game,
Accurate.
It's not something that, really is going to work the best as far as what the 49ers do.
Hold on. We're not going to just run our quarterback around and run him 14 times?
I would hope not.
Out of read option looks?
No.
All right, sweet, Ant. So, Rams starting with the ball here. You get a 2nd and 2, Ant. A nice little motion look. And you can see them trying to establish that zone game. And the Vikings here having some success at getting some penetration and really taking away some of those cutting angles.
Yeah, they got a 5-man front. And that has been the go-to to stop this, stop this zone run game. And once again, you've seen Sony Michel have to, cut back against the grain. The 49ers penetration on the defensive line is going to be a real problem for the Rams.
Definitely is going to be. And now you have a 2nd and 10 sort of situation here, Ant. So you got a longer situation here. You got a 4-man down line here for the Vikings, which, again, we've seen a lot of these teams run. This is more akin to what you're going to see with the 49ers with the 4-down linemen.
Yeah, and look at they brought Harrison Smith up. He's going to go ahead and he's going to take this, there's the rhythm passing. That's what we were talking about a little bit on the preview show. You get Cooper Kupp out from the backfield. That's why Harrison Smith is hanging out where he's hanging out. And a rhythm passing game. This is what they're going to have to do if they feel like they can have success against the 49ers pass defense. However, just like that, you make the tackle in front of the sticks and you put yourself in at least a 3rd and manageable.
3rd and manageable is where you want to be, and the Vikings now have that opportunity. They showed blitz coming off, and you have another little timing rhythm sort of throw. That looked like a pretty generous spot there,
really
because
did, yeah.
I thought that was short of the line. Let's take a look again at this. Top of the screen here, you got a little essentially what is an in cut here.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing off coverage. I think this is actually in front of the sticks. Good tackle right there by Dantzler, but obviously they got the first.
They did get the first down. This drive ends up continuing downfield, and then they end up here, 1st and goal at the 7 here. You have the Los Angeles Rams here. You get the motion to start that window dressing. Got a little bit of an inside run, and again, very similar concept to what we saw earlier with the run, except this time that wash is able to get through. Linebackers get caught up a little bit, and that cutback lane opens up and ends up being a touchdown.
Yeah, you're not going to see this sort of flow from the 49ers linebackers. You don't have to worry about them getting washed all the way across. They are going to get downhill. There's going to be somebody there for the cutback lane. You don't see that sort of thing, getting into the windows for the Minnesota Vikings, and ultimately that's why the Niners were able to run on the Vikings as well.
That is correct. That's exactly why that front was able to get washed down. That's the difference between this Vikings team, right, and the Niners is the front's different. That front line doesn't play to the same level that the 49ers front does. And that linebacker core, as talented as it is with Kendricks back there, is not as good as Fred Warner and what, Azeez has shown this year, as well as the addition of Dre Greenlaw, which for a lot of teams is going to be kind of a new thing because you haven't seen him all season.
Well, even Marcel Harris, because Marcel Harris flashes. These guys get downhill and make tackles at the point of attack. You don't see that from the linebackers of the Minnesota Vikings. You don't see them going downhill consistently. Besides Kendricks, you see them flowing and scraping, parallel to the line of scrimmage. When you're playing a zone running team, you can't do that. You have to get down. You have to get across these linemen's face, and you have to fill those open gaps. Or you're going to create lanes for them to be successful against you.
100%. And now you have the subsequent drive. And after that long drive by the Rams, it was actually a 13-play drive. We just condensed down there for you. 13-play drive that ended up in a touchdown for the Rams. The Vikings are trying to answer, and it starts here with a big 3rd and 8 situation here from just outside the 35-yard line on their own side of the field. Let's take a look and see what happens here. You got the empty set. You got the trips bunch at the top, Ant.
Yeah, and you got straight zone coverage, and there's your rhythm throw. This is kind of what you're expecting to see from the 49ers. This is exactly what you expect to see from a quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo, something you're hoping that Trey Lance is developing. At times, Trey was doing that. So I think both 49ers quarterbacks can take advantage of this particular look because the zone coverage is so defined. You got the 2 deep safeties. You see the linebacker sitting there. This is just an easy route concept. In fact, they had 2 guys really close together on that.
I mean, that in theory, not a very well-designed route concept with Thielen sitting on top of Conklin there, but it works out for them in their favor. They get the big first down, and then after a big play on first down here, Ant, you got a 2nd and 1 here from just about midfield.
Yeah, and you see them. They're cheating a safety up into the box. They know the run game is coming. Dalvin Cook is able to get to the edge and get the first down. But you just see that Minnesota doesn't have as much creativity in their blocking. The motion doesn't garner as much results, but it did move. I believe is that Reader that it moved outside of the box. Yeah, look at him moving with the movement. It takes him outside the tackle box. That's a good situation. That's something you can watch the 49ers do. But look at the 5 defensive linemen on the front. But look at the push. Did you see the push right there on the edge?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting absolutely you're getting Von Miller absolutely handled on the top. Is that Von Miller up there, or who is that? He got absolutely owned.
It's definitely not Von Miller at 58. I'm not
sorry,
sure.
I saw 58 and thought Von Miller.
I thought Von Miller too, but Von Miller's 40 for them, so I'm not 100% sure. But look, yeah, Donald is going to have some success, but when it's not Von Miller out there and you got other pieces, if it's not Leonard Floyd, you're going to have issues. You're going to have issues there on the edge with them setting the edge. And we saw George Kittle and Kyle Juszczyk both have success, so maybe it's something that can be replicated yet again, Ant. And after a subsequent first down, now you have 1st and 10 from the 33 from the Minnesota Vikings, and you got play action from Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I mean, and they're running too deep. I mean, and here's that deep crosser that the 49ers live doing. Yeah, if you could go back and run this back. This is 49ers one-on-one. I mean, here's the early motion. You're going to stack these guys out here, and then you're going to get the deep pattern right here, and you're going to cross all the way, run all the way across, and then look at him just sit down and then break out. Well done.
Extremely well done. And this is what I mean. Like, yes, the Rams are a very talented team, but outside of Jalen Ramsey, there are some suspect play from some of these corners and safeties at times. And this is one where he's on top of Thielen. He's sitting there on this route the whole way. I mean, he is with it. I mean, he just loses it at the last minute. He gets a little bit wonky with the zone and where he's going. He believes he's going to be carrying because Kirk is booting out that direction. So he drifts. Thielen takes advantage of that. Kirk finds him. And now you have a big situation here, Ant, where you're inside goal to go. The Vikings haven't been terrible in these situations, especially with Dalvin Cook in the run game.
Yeah, and if you establish the run game and you're able to run these boots, whether it's Jimmy or Trey, especially Trey, you get him outside the pocket, that's where he's the most dynamic. He's going to be able to find open receivers just like that. Jimmy Garoppolo would be able to make that throw as well. There's a lot of space there. Those are things that the Rams give that the 49ers can take advantage of, but it all starts with establishing that run game and getting this Rams defense on their heels. That was a 1st and 10 situation where they went 2 deep safety. They were not as concerned about the Vikings' run game. They were concerned about the pass game. The fact that they were still able to complete a pass in that situation means the Rams have some struggles and some holes in that secondary.
And you have to be able to get after the quarterback. You have to be able to get it. That's what they're predicated on. Now you got 2nd and goal, Ant, from inside the 10-yard line here.
Justin Jefferson, you got the blitz. It's actually well-timed, a good call by the Rams, but they're not able to execute. You're going to see the linebacker come up and fill. He's going to get up here into the A-gap, and he's going to come, and they're going to get just enough of him. Once again, he makes the tackle, but linebacker play for the Rams is definitely suspect.
It's definitely suspect, and this is where you need to have some success if you're the Niners getting up to 2nd level, making sure you secure those blocks on those guys. And what a jump cut, though, by Dalvin Cook. Able to be patient there. Actually, that was Madison.
Yeah.
That was actually fairly impressive for Madison there. Fairly impressive from Madison in that situation there. And now we've seen some of it, right, against the Vikings. We've seen some of the stuff that they did against Minnesota. Let's go back a little bit, take a look at some of the areas that they may have struggled against the Niners, and let's see if it has it even improved, Dan, or is this area still where the Niners can take advantage of? Again, 3 to the top, 1 to the bottom.
And bringing Hufanga on the blitz down here. This was the time when the Rams took advantage of the 49ers blitz. I think it was a little bit, clear and evident what they were going to do because of where Hufanga is in this, in this situation on this defense. One time they didn't confuse Stafford. Now they were able to get home, but that's because they were setting up, the screen pass. Luckily, the 49ers rallied and made a nice tackle and prevented this from being too big of a play. But this is one of those times where Stafford was able to figure out what was happening pre-snap.
Yeah, and then you had the Whitworth,
blocking the back.
Blocking the back late there. That also helps out the Niners there. So the Rams shooting themselves in the foot. Something we really haven't seen the Rams do in terms of penalties a lot this year. Now you have a 1st and 19, and look at those rhythm throws that you were talking about earlier. They will do these on early downs to make more manageable situations. If you're the Niners, recognizing when those situations are is kind of important.
Yeah, and you see the 49ers dropping some guys out into zone coverage. That time, TJ Jones. He's not able to get out there and help, undercut this Cooper Kupp route because you got Aziz flying out on the flat. But right there, Josh Norman's able to make the tackle. You got Fred Warner coming in to help. this is one of those ones on a first and really long. You want that because now you still got second and double sticks.
Yeah, and now you got that second and double sticks, and they're going to go empty. They're chipping and trying to chip Bosa, so they're getting guys out late into routes. And this was one that was almost picked here by Emmanuel Mosley. So hopefully he's hoping he can get one of those back. But this is the one where you get that little crosser here at the top of the screen. They run the crosser, and then it kind of vacates the middle of the field, and they're trying to hit Skowronek here coming across the middle. And Stafford just leaves it a little bit high. They're chipping Bosa at the top with Higbee as well. Just getting pressure after Stafford is important. Getting a hand in his face when he throws can cause him to make some errant passes.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to cause this guy to have to make, kind of contested throws, and he's going to give you opportunities. But here you got the 49ers on 3rd and 11 playing a 2-deep zone look. They got Talanoa Hufanga on the top. But you can tell they're playing off. They're playing zone. K1 came up early. They're running a screen. They think that's the play to run. It's not because Jimmy Ward's there to make a big-time play.
True. Jimmy Ward makes a big-time play, and you have the drop issue rearing its ugly head for the Rams in this game here in this scenario, and the Niners capitalize. That's what you have to do. If you're not going to play a clean game, if you're going to make mistakes, then when you make them, you have to make them pay. In this situation, Jimmy Ward does. The 49ers defense does. He gets 6 big points from the Niners.
Yeah, and we're talking about that before. Jimmy Ward being so valuable and being an eraser, being able to go up there and play in those situations. You feel comfortable with him doing that as a safety.
Correct. And now the Niners have themselves a nice little lead here. The Rams are going to they're a little bit desperate here now. They need a score, and this is a drive where they're going to go down the field and end up putting points on the board. Let's see where they have success and where the Niners struggle here a little bit, and see if we can't pick up on some of these things and see what they're improving upon as the season has gone on. You have Odell in the backfield, and he's going to kind of motion out, and they're going with an inside run and an inside give, and that's a nice chunk of yardage there.
It was, and the Niners weren't fooled. You see Hufanga, even though Odell's going to go in motion, he comes into the box. They're going to walk that guy up. What they did was, in this game, they had Fred bounce out. Fred was, being one of those guys that was going to help cover Odell Beckham, so that was a nice move by them to get a favorable 6-man box to be able to run the football.
And they ran it successfully. They get 6 yards there on first down. And now you don't have to pass now. You can load up a little bit, and they do. They have a little bit of a load situation. Everyone's tight to the line. There go, a nice little play action look. Stafford on the boot, and completed that pass there, I think, to Van Jefferson coming across on the middle crosser. And this is one of the things I talked about right in the preview show is Van Jefferson's speed can be a problem. And in this situation, you have Van Jefferson's speed opposite going with Josh Norman. Josh Norman does a pretty good job, but he gets caught up a little bit, and that's able to get that separation.
Yeah, it's tough running man situations. You're hoping that you're going to get more pressure early on Matthew Stafford. You can't give him a clean, rhythm throw, and he gets it here. Look at this open window to throw the football. There's got to be someone in his face. You can't let him have that much time if you're going to be running, man principles.
Correct. Cannot have that much time at all. And you got Odell, same sort of look, going out in motion. And this is just a great design. Wonderful design here by McVay. They gave a very similar look that they gave earlier, and this time you get the little out and up action here from Cooper Kupp, and he sits open in the zone.
Yeah, and they're taking advantage of, the 49ers' aggressiveness with the secondary players to come up and take away those bubble screens. And they caught K'Wan Williams kind of looking inside and wanting to make a play, and they went over the top. It's a great design.
It is. It 100% is. Norman coming over on the interior as well. Thank God Jimmy Ward is playing there over the top and preventing that from being a touchdown.
Yeah, and Cooper Kupp is such a great blocker that you have to take into account his blocking skills.
You have to respect it.
Yeah.
100% have to. A good scheme by McVay.
There you go. They got the cover one going. Oh, I mean, luckily for the 49ers, I mean, Jimmy Ward falls down on this.
Correct.
Or this, if he doesn't see this, this is an absolute touchdown. Jimmy Ward falls down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he went to his read one, which was Odell on the comeback there, trying to establish, like we said, force feed Odell Beckham the rock a little bit. They do in that situation, and now they got themselves a 1st and 10 from about the 11-yard line. And no real movement there on the front there from the interior. This is a wide 9 setup, too, for the 49ers.
Yeah, it is. And you got the edge got set in a big way by Arden Key. Then you have the penetration on the other half, and they're going to work themselves down the line of scrimmage.
Went on the interior here with a double team as well.
Oh, yeah, that's where it comes. That's the big play right there. Arden Key sets the edge. You get a win on the interior, and all of a sudden, boom, there you go. There's a tackle made.
And now you're at 2nd and 9, and from the 10-yard line, you only gave up a yard. They have to go empty on 2nd down. You have pressure coming on the interior, but not enough pressure. Not enough pressure and a drop. I think that was Skoranek there on the drop. But look, not enough pressure there. Stafford had a pocket. He had a lot of time. And when you give Stafford a lot of time and these receivers enough time to get open, that's a problem for the Niners.
Yeah, it definitely is. And what I like about this is look at how Mosley, and they took away Cooper Kupp. They
True.
doubled Cooper Kupp. But even when he threw to Skoranek, it is contested.
Sure.
And that is, that's what you're trying to do.
Absolutely. You got the little stack here. This is the McVay stack that we're seeing a lot of teams run here. They got the wide outside guy. They got two guys in on the interior slot kind of stacked up and then singled out here in space with the running back to that side as well. And 3rd and 9 now from the 10. See what happens.
Yeah, and they're giving safety help on both sides. They're trying to take advantage, right there in the middle where you got the one-on-one matchup, and they're able to do it.
Absolutely. You're able to get the big score. You're able to push the ball down the field, and that was a situation where the Rams needed it. They were down. They had turned the ball over a couple of times. The Niners were up a lot of points. I think it was 21-0 at one point. Actually 20-0. So I think there was a missed extra point. And now the Niners are going to try and answer because you don't want to give them too much momentum.
Yeah, and the key is right now the Rams, figured out what the 49ers were doing to them defensively, and they've adjusted. And so now the 49ers need to go out there and, handle business and flip the script their way.
Absolutely, definitely need to. Now you got a 1st and 10 though, Ant, from the 9-yard line. You hate to see that.
Yeah, you had the penalty. But there you go. That's what the 49ers were doing to them consistently in this game. This is what we were talking about a little bit with the Vikings and in our game preview as well, is taking advantage of these ends on the outside. Here you got Juszczyk coming across, wham block, or trap block, and then you got George Kittle coming down and taking out the guy on this side, creating the counter. Yeah, look at the nice lane that it creates. Even though the block isn't great by Kittle and he's going to be upset with himself that he didn't make a great block, it's positive yardage.
And that's all you want.
Yep.
Positive yardage, Ant, because now you're at 2nd and 1 from your 18 after a not great kick return there. And I believe that was Donald. Was that Donald?
Yeah. You have a 5-man front, and you have Laken Tomlinson that's going to get kind of eaten here. Yeah, it's Aaron Donald. And you're thinking if you get an outside release that the play should still work. As an offensive lineman, you don't believe that guy can get all the way around you to the outside and then still get to the running back. But au contraire, this is Aaron Donald.
It is Aaron Donald. And now you got 3rd and 2 and a little bit of a false start action. And look there.
They did not.
I think it was offsides. They called offsides, I believe, on Donald. On the interior here.
I mean, he is offsides, but did they call it?
That I don't know. God, I hope they did. They did, Ant. They did call it. So they get it on Aaron
and he's
Donald.
Over Alex Mack on that play.
He was.
So the movement there, so moving him around a lot against the 49ers is going to be something they're going to have to do.
And that was a situation there where Donald was on Brunskill and he had the double team at the point of attack, and Donald doesn't do a whole lot there.
Yeah, and they're making this look like they're going to go outside, but you can see the blocking coming back inside. They want to make you, think they're going wide and then cut back against it a little bit, cut it up inside.
Correct. Not a lot there. You only pick up 1. You got 2nd and 9 now. Let's see. Niners go gun. Jimmy finds the rhythm throw. And, it was close, Ant.
Oh, you're just seeing, some stop routes. You're seeing them take advantage of zone. You're seeing these linebackers struggle in zone coverage. That is one of the things the Rams struggle at, and that's one of the areas where the 49ers are the most successful, especially with Jimmy Garoppolo at the quarterback.
Especially with the quick release, Ant. He got that ball out quick. The linebacker did not have enough time to react, and you're able to pick up the 1st down, which is huge. 1st and 10 now. You got a clean slate. Running from the gun, and nice.
And you had a favorable run box. This is something you can see even right now. Look at the way they're playing it. They got that outside linebacker up there lined up in the slot originally. 3 down linemen to this side. And you can see him cheating a linebacker out because they're going to run zone coverage. So Jimmy Garoppolo knows this is a favorable run box, and he's going to let it go and let it happen.
And line does its job. Everyone gets to their levels. Your guards release, get up to 2nd level. Alex Mack does a good job of creating the lane. And now you got 2nd and 4, Ant.
Yeah, and you're getting favorable run boxes a lot. So that means that they're at least concerned about what the 49ers are doing, or they're trying to stop them. And this is the thing that the Niners have to do. Every time they have favorable run boxes, they just got to take advantage of it. And I think you've seen safety come into the box late, but to no avail because of the way the 49ers are running their counter gap scheme.
Correct. And now you got 3rd and 2, Ant. 3rd and 2, and motions have also shown a lot too. The Rams are moving a lot with motion. Something you didn't see as much with the Vikings, but you did see at times guys moving out of the box, moving back into the box with motion. So that motion, they're continuing to still do that. So if you're the Niners, you can take advantage of that as well.
Yeah, and you see the guy coming in on the blitz because it's motioned away. So they're going to go ahead and try to blitz on the backside. The 49ers are going to change the set now.
Correct. And now you got a full start that too. I think Kittle jumped a little. He's a little excited there, and a little excited to get out there and block. Now you got 3rd and 7. So you got the trips to the top there. You got Kittle down here at the bottom.
And look at how wide the defender is out here. So, I mean, Jimmy's going to have a little bit of a pocket to throw through. He's able to get the ball out and find the open receiver.
And Debo does
this is the
things.
Part of it is look at the formation is going to look at how far they're going to put these guys out here on this side with George Kittle and Trent Williams. And then Kyle Juszczyk's going to freeze them. And then you got the route on top. You have the natural rub. Gets the ball to Debo. Debo's able to run with the football afterwards.
Correct. Big first down for the 49ers. You got to feel good about that. Now you got 1st and 10 from beyond midfield, technically. And you got the motion look again. And
there's the cutback again. Once again, it's a nice counter play. He's wanting to follow George Kittle. And then he's going to find the first hole that he sees, and he's going to get vertical. This is what makes Elijah Mitchell special. They're going to be reading this like it's an outside zone going away from George Kittle, but he's going to cut back and go with Kittle. Look at the linebacker split. Yep. One went outside this way for outside contain. The other went the other way. That's a flaw. The linebackers for the Rams are their flaw in this defense.
And you know what? If you're the Niners, you can take advantage of that in a variety of ways, right? You can load up and take advantage of that. You can also spread them out in space, get them widened out, and then take advantage of that as well.
Well, and you see look at how the Rams are adjusting. They're going to a 6-man front with one linebacker. This is not always the answer, because look at the 49ers setup because of the personnel grouping. They're still getting favorable run lanes. I'm surprised they ran on this, but you look at Jimmy Garoppolo right there. If you'll go back. This is somewhere where Trey Lance could be successful. You see Debo going in motion. That guy has to play him. Look at that open lane if you want to run the football. There is an open avenue for him to be able to run up inside.
Correct.
So you could see Kittle's inside right here. Kittle could easily go out and lead block in a play design. You see the safety trying to flash, but you have Brandon Ayuk there for him. Those are favorable run numbers for them if they decide to go that, maybe Trey's going to get a couple spins on similar looks like this.
Absolutely. You got to think that Kyle's dialing up and thinking of ways that this could work out in his favor.
Oh yeah.
No matter who the quarterback is. You didn't get a lot of yards there, but you picked up 2, Ant. You picked up 2, and now you got 2nd and 8, and all you want to do is move the sticks and move forward, inch by inch, and now you have a passing situation, and Jimmy Garoppolo putting the ball in a very ridiculously tight window, yet again with that elite quick release, Ant. Again, this is what we're talking about. This is the things that Jimmy does. And when you have this many guys down at the line of scrimmage, the middle of the field is going to start opening up.
Yeah, I mean, and when you have this concept, watch the safety jump on Jawan Jennings. He's going to want to take that away, believing that's where you're going with the ball. And once he commits, the only guy left to make the play was the second safety who rolled over the top. They tried to go with that creeper roll, where they're going to bring a safety in. This time, Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't fall for it as he goes to the outside, receiver and Brandon Ayuk. Because they're running that slants concept, it worked.
Correct. It worked. Jalen Ramsey, frustrated Ant.
That's all he should be.
Not having the impact he'd like to have.
And now you get Debo in the backfield. And look how they react. You can see that right now every single guy is all watching Debo Samuel. All eyes on me.
As they should be.
Yeah, they motion in, and you can see there's a little bit of confusion as they're talking about how they're going to cover Jawan Jennings. Oh, there's the read right there. And that's Debo doing Debo things.
And he's going to get to the edge. He's going to be able to have success. This is one of the things. We saw the Rams. We saw them motion Cooper Kupp out of the backfield, or have him release out of the backfield for a couple of catches in the Vikings game, and I've seen him even in this game in the second half. The Rams do that. They use Cooper Kupp out of the backfield, but it's not the same. They're not using him as a running threat. When he moves back there, he's not a threat to run the football. He is running some sort of short underneath route, whether that's some sort of flats concept, some sort of stick concept, a Texas route maybe, who knows. But he's going to be running something short, outside, stopping in space at the numbers or on a hash mark, or running something through the middle. He's not going to be running the football. Debo Samuel is a running threat. So when he moves back there, if you're the Rams, you now have to kind of reshuffle and readjust your idea of what it is. You can start Debo out wide, move him into the backfield. You can start him in the backfield, move him out wide. No matter what you do, if you're the 49ers, it's going to cause problems for that Rams defense.
Yeah, anytime Debo is on the field, you have numbers. You can definitely still run the ball, even though you're in different personnel groupings. And most of the time when we've seen Cooper Kupp in the backfield, it means you're right. He's going to run something from the backfield. He doesn't often motion out back into a receiver role, which means you can cover him with a safety in those situations because you just have to be able to rally and tackle underneath. That's Jimmy Ward's value. That's Jaquiski Tartt's value.
Correct.
They can, go ahead and cover him underneath, and then you can keep a corner on these outside receivers, and it doesn't put you in bad situations matchup-wise. We'll see how DeMeco Ryans, schemes it up. I think there'll be some similar, ways that he attacks it, and I think there's going to be some different ones too, because I do think they're going to want to put more pressure on Matthew Stafford. They're going to want to get in his face and cause him to make mistakes the way he has been making mistakes the last few weeks, especially against Baltimore. So I think the 49ers are playing very well on defense. Let's see if that'll translate. And as long as the secondary room is somewhat decent, as long as they have some of these guys back, and I think they could have all of them back, they'll be able to manage how they are able to handle these wide receivers. We'll see. Odell Beckham Jr. in this film that we watched, let's keep it honest, this was his first game with the Rams. He's going to be more, into what they do on offense. And also look for the Rams to run more up-tempo. They ran up-tempo, but they couldn't run it as much as they wanted because they wanted Odell Beckham on the field. Now that he has an understanding of the offense, they can run more up-tempo, which I think they would like to do to keep the 49ers personnel groupings the same as they try to attack.
That's going to be something to keep an eye on. Not letting the Niners rotate in that D-line and maybe at times not having Bosa out there because you're getting them rest, and so they keep that tempo up. Tick, 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 tick. Let's push, 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 push. We'll see how the Niners adjust to that, how they adapt. And hopefully Jordan Willis, Charles Menahu in those moments, in those situations, elevate their level of play and punish the Rams for doing stuff like that. Because, you can run that at that tempo for a while, but you're going to tire your guys out just as much as well. And the Niners have a rotation of guys. They have a plethora of guys that can keep going to the well and keeping fresh. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how the Niners adjust. But Cutback Crew, let us know what you thought about this episode of Know Your Opponent, getting to know these Los Angeles Rams just a little bit better, taking a look at two types of films, right? Film against the Vikings, film against the Niners. Do you feel more confident? Do you feel comfortable? Let us know in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe. You don't want to miss, hopefully, a playoff Friday Frenzy next week. Man, I'm hoping we get one of those. Season 2 of the 49ers Cutback would just feel oh so great, Ant, with some playoff action for the 49ers. But let us know what you thought about this, and make sure you become the newest member of the Cutback Crew today.
Yeah, and don't miss the game plan video tomorrow. We're going to get even farther into what's the 49ers game plan against the Los Angeles Rams on offense and defense. We're going to get into all of it, talk about it, and break it down. You're going to want to know. That way you know what to expect. That way when you see it on Sunday, you have an understanding of what's going on. It definitely makes games a lot more enjoyable, and it's one of our most watched episodes on the entire channel. So hop over there at 11 a.m. on Saturday morning and check it out. If it is past Saturday or Saturday night, go back and watch it. You definitely want to check it.
You want to be prepared for Sunday. You don't want to be sitting there going, I don't understand why the Niners are doing this. Why are we doing that? If you're here, if you're a member of the Cutback Crew, you know exactly why. You won't be surprised Sunday when the Niners are doing A, B, or C, whatever that is, running the football, gap scheme, outside zone, sweeps. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait. You're just going to have to wait for tomorrow and see what happens in the game plan video. And until that time, Cutback Crew and the faithful, stay safe.
And remember, the right way
is always the 49ers way.